Microphone's on. Great. So let's say I had an equation that looked something like this. And I asked you, what's your first name? Rachel, what would be the first thing you'd want to do here to solve this equation? Subtract 5 from both sides, right? And we can do that because of our properties of equality that we have established when we're solving equations, right? As long as you do the same thing on both sides of the equal sign, then you're not violating any mathematical rules. And these are rules that have been agreed upon for centuries. Great. So now we're going to get 3x is equal to 3x. Delightful. You, what's your first name? Tim. What about now? What would you do here?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Outstanding. I love it. So we get 3, and we got x is equal to x. Now, traditionally, when we're solving for equations, we want x on one side, right? So maybe my next step here is to subtract x from both sides. There's really any number of things that you could do here, but we run into some sort of conundrum, right? What happens is we end up with x is equal to x. Is this true? Is this always true for any value of x? And the answer is a resounding, of course it is. It's always true. It's true for any value of x that you want to put in. If x is pi, pi is equal to pi. If x is 3, 3 is equal to 3. If x is 1 Google, Google is equal to a Google. So, Google is actually 10 to the 100th. Just so you know. A little trivia for you. So what do we write here? Well, we write that x is all real numbers. Or you can use a little bit of shorthand and you write x is equal to all real numbers. Now this r that I've written, not very well. Let's touch that up a little bit. This r here is what's called a vector notation. In physics, you represent vectors, and vectors have direction and magnitude, right? When you have a number line in math, going way back when, you had a number line such as this, and a number line has direction and magnitude. So we can use vector notation to represent numbers and sets of numbers. Capiche? Good? What if I had this careless monstrosity? I asked you, what's your first name? Olivia. What would you do first?
Either add 3 or add 10.
So let's add 3. And we're going to get 3x is equal to 3x minus 7. How about our next step? Yeah?
Would you divide the 3s?
You could divide the 3s. We could do that. We could get 3, 3, 3. We'd have to divide everything by 3. As long as we're consistent, we can do whatever we want, right? Now, maybe my next step is like I had before. I want to subtract x from both sides. And x minus x, well, that's equal to nothing. And I get 0 is equal to negative 7/3. Is this true? Is it true for all values of x? In other words, is there some sort of value for x that I could put in here that would make this true? The answer is hell no, there's not, okay? Doesn't matter what you put in there, this is not true. So we say that there's the empty set, or there is no solution. We could write x is an element of the set that has no numbers, okay? There's several different ways to write this. When you do it on my math lab, there'll be a multiple choice. You'll either give the answer, or you pick no solution or all real numbers. Okay? So for the most part, I'm assuming you guys know how to solve some basic equations, and I'm not going to go through all of those rules, but these are some special cases.